皆さんおはようございます。Thank you for joining me today. This is the Japanese Easy News article of the day for July 1st, 2026. 2026年7月1日の今日の記事でございます。So take a real quick look at our headline. We have 日本を出るときに払うお金3000円に上がった。Okay, looking at our vocabulary from the headline, we have 日本 or 日本. You can say it either way. This is Japan. 出る is to leave or to come out. 払う is to pay. お金 is money. And 上がる is to rise or increase. Okay, so jumping back into our headline, we have 日本を出るとき. So 日本 is going to be Japan を We are going to do something to Japan that involves a verb, and that's going to be 出る which is to leave Japan. So 日本を出る to leave Japan. Toki. Toki is when or time when. So 日本を出るときに we use the に when we're talking about we're doing something at a certain time. So 日本を出るときに when we leave Japan 払う to pay, and all of that is describing お金 which is money. So the money that you pay when you leave Japan, 3000円 is going to be 3000, 3000, and yen is yen. 3000円に this is the particle we use for the verb 上がる which is to rise, and that is being put in the past tense 上がった. So it has risen or has increased to 3,000 yen. So the money that you have to pay when leaving Japan has now increased to 3,000 yen. Okay, now to look at our vocabulary for the rest of the article, we have 外国, which is going to be a foreign country. チケット is a ticket. 必要, this is a na adjective, so sometimes it'll be 必要な. But 必要 is going to be required or necessary. 国 is going to be country. 億 is going to be 100 million. 円 is yen. 旅行 is going to be travel. 困る is to be in trouble. 問題 is an issue or a problem. And 集める is to collect.
外国に行く人は日本を出るときにお金を払います。そのお金が今日から上がりました。今までは1人1000円でしたが3000円になりました。日本人も外国人も払う必要があります。飛行機などのチケットを買うときに払います。このお金は国に入ります。今までより1年で1200億円ぐらい多くなりそうです。日本では旅行に来る人が多すぎて、町に住んでいる人が困るような問題が起こっています。国は集めたお金を問題をなくすためなどに使いたいと言っています。
All right, let's jump right into our article.
外国に行く人は日本を出るときにお金を払います。
Okay, 外国 foreign country に to a foreign country 行く go. So 外国に行く going to a foreign country. All of that is describing 人 which is person or people. So people that go to a foreign country 外国に行く人は and this what tells us it's our main topic or framework. 日本 which is going to be Japan. You can also say 日本. NHK always says Nippon, but when you add the Furigana on there, default goes to 日本, so just going forward, know that 日本 or 日本を出る. So we've seen this in our title, 日本を出るとき. So when we leave Japan, 日本を出るときにお金 is money, お金を we're gonna do something to our money with a verb, and that verb is 払います, coming from 払う in the must form. So 払う to pay. So people who leave to foreign countries pay money when leaving Japan.
そのお金が今日から上がりました。
Okay, その is connecting to お金, money here, to say that money, the money we just talked about in the previous sentence, the money that we pay when leaving Japan. そのお金が, this ga tells us it's our subject. This お金 is going to do something or be something. And then the lady said 今日, or we can say 7月1日, the 7th day, or the 7th month, first day, today, 今日7月1日から starting from today, 上がりました. So this is once again 上がる to rise or increase in the past tense. 上がりました.
今までは1人1000円でしたが3000円になりました。
Okay, 今までは So 今 is now, 今まで is up to now, and then we're using that as our framework when we're talking about up to now. 一人 is a single person. 1000円 so 1000 yen, 1000 yen for one person. でした was, so this is the past tense of です meaning was. Then we have が being however. So 今までは一人1000円でしたが up to now, one person was 1000 yen. However, 3000円 3000 yen になりました. So we use に with our verb なる, which is to become, and then なる is now put in the past tense to it has become. なりました. So up till now, it had been 1000 yen for a single person, but now it has become 3000 yen per person.
日本人も外国人も払う必要があります。
Okay, so 日本人 or 日本人 is going to be Japanese people. も also 外国人 foreigners も. So when we list two things and want to say, both of these have the same something or both have to do something, we can use も twice. So Japanese people as well as foreigners. 日本人も外国人も払う pay. And then 必要 is requirement. And 必要があります. This が tells us the requirement is going to do something, and what it does is ある or あります, which is to exist. So when you say you have to do something or there is a requirement that something must be done, you can say 必要があります, and whatever comes in front of this 必要 is what is needed or necessary or required. So what is required? Japanese people and foreigners must pay. So both Japanese and foreigners must pay this new 3,000 yen. Previously it was 1,000, now it's 3,000. And both Japanese and foreigners must pay this.
飛行機などのチケットを買うときに払います。
Okay, 飛行機, which is going to be an airplane, など, and things like it, の. We are going to connect a noun to our other noun, 飛行機. And this noun is チケット, which is a ticket. So a ticket of airplanes and the like. This no just tells us that this ticket is coming from that. So 飛行機などのチケット tickets from the airplane, or also including boats or whatever with nado, right? O. So we're going to do something to this. There's going to be a verb that does something to ticket, which is kau, to buy. So buying tickets of airplanes, etc. And then kau toki ni, once again, toki ni means when. So when buying the airplane tickets or other transportation tickets, haraimasu. So harau, once again, in the mas form, to pay. So you will pay this amount when buying your ticket, etc.
このお金は国に入ります。
Okay, この attaches to お金 to mean this money. このお金. This money は is our main topic or framework here. 国, the country. Now the country can also mean the government. NHK articles, they will always use 国 instead of government. Well, not always, but most of the time. 国に入ります. So we use に with the particle 入る to enter or to go into. So this money will go into the government. このお金は国に入ります。
今までより1年で1200億円ぐらい多くなりそうです。
Okay, so once again we have 今, which is now, and 今まで up to now. And then より is kind of like a grammar that we can use here. More than up to now. So 今までより be more than up to now or more than previously. 1年 is going to be 1 year. 1年で in a single year. 1200億円ぐらい. So 1200億円ぐらい. So an oku is 100 million. So what I like to do is that's 100 million, which means a billion would be here. We just add a comma or whatever. One digit ahead. So this would be 120 billion yen. 1200億円ぐらい. And ぐらい is going to be around. And then 多くなりそうです. So we have to kind of break this down. 多くなりそう is kind of technically all one word, not really, but it comes from 多い, which means many or a lot. And then if we want to say becomes a lot, we would say 多くなる. So we drop the e and add く to attach the 多い to なる. So 多くなる for something to get more or to increase. And then when we take a verb and we attach this so here, we have to use the stem. So 多くなる becomes 多くなり. And then we add that so des, which means it seems like. So it seems like it will be around 120 billion yen more or greater than the previously for a single year. 今までより1年で1200億円ぐらい多くなりそうです。
日本では旅行に来る人が多すぎて、町に住んでいる人が困るような問題が起こっています。
Okay, 日本では or 日本では So Japan では as far as in Japan goes 旅行 is travel 旅行に we use に with the verb 来る to come So 旅行に来る to come for travel purposes 人 So 人 that people that come to travel が they're going to do something or be something and then we once again have 多い which means a lot and then if we want to attach すぎる to 多い we drop the e and add すぎる So 多すぎる would mean something is too much すぎる is like a grammar that does that. When we attach it to something, it means it's excessive or too much of something. So there are too many people who come for travel. And then if we want to continue our sentence, we can take that すぎる and put it in the te form, 多すぎて. Then we have 町 the town or a city. Machi ni, we use ni with the verb sumu, which is to live in a place. And then we use the teiru form of sumu, which goes to sundeiru, because we're talking about people doing it now. We use the teiru form when an action is being done right now. So machi ni sundeiru, and once again we are describing hito, so people that live in the town. Machi ni sundeiru hito. Ga, they're going to do something, and that thing they're going to do is komaru, to be in trouble or to have issues. Yona mondai. So when we have a noun and we want to say a noun that's kind of like this. So this noun here is mondai, which is an issue. And then this yona is kind of like issues like or very similar to this kind of a thing. So hito ga komaru yona mondai would be issues where people are having trouble. So all of this together, machi ni sundeiru hito ga komaru yona mondai. Issues where people that live in the town are having problems or are in trouble. And then these issues ga, the issues are going to do something, and that verb is okotteimasu. So okoru, to happen. And then we use the teiru form and then the mas to say it is currently happening. So there are issues where, or sorry, all of this together, in Japan, there are issues where the people coming for travel are too many, or there are too many people coming to travel, and the people living in the town are having troubles or being inconvenienced.
国は集めたお金を問題をなくすためなどに使いたいと言っています。
Okay, 国は, so 国 is going to be the country, in this case the government, and then they're going to be our main topic or framework here with wa. And then 集めた, so 集める is to gather. We're putting this in the past tense, so something has been gathered. 集めたお金 is going to be money that has been gathered. O, so we're going to do something to that money. And then we have mondai, which is an issue or problem, and another o. So this can be tricky, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint when you're breaking down big Japanese sentences and you run into two particles that are the same particle very close to each other. This particularly works with o. So you have to think about it this way. We have an o and an o. Because o marks our objects, there's going to be object 1 and object 2. So there's going to be a verb for each of these objects, either implied or explicitly said in the statement. Now, 99% of the time, you're going to have two verbs if you have two O's. Some can be implied, but most of the time they'll be straight up in the sentence. So what we have to do is look for the verbs that go along with these O's when you're kind of breaking down sentences. Eventually, the Japanese sentence order, you'll just get used to it. But this one, or at the start, you're just going to kind of have to do a little bit of treasure hunting here. So we have money and issues. Now, a lot of the time, if you have two O's, the first object is going to be connected to a verb that comes later, and then the one that comes after is going to connect to a verb that is like right there. It's normally how it works, not always, but you can kind of tell just by breaking it down. So let's go ahead and look at this second one. So 問題をなくす. So なくす is to get rid of something. And we're probably not talking about getting rid of the money that we've collected. We're talking about getting rid of issues or solving issues, right? So 問題をなくす. And then ためなどに. So ため is for or for a certain purpose. And then など is like things like that. And then we use ni with that as well. So for the purpose of getting rid of issues and the like. And then we say, all right, there is another verb here. And that one goes along with this O here. And that verb is 使う, to use. And then we are taking 使う and putting it in the Thai form here, which means we want to do something. So 使う going to 使いたい. 使う means to use. So 使いたい means we want to use. So we want to use that collected money in order to solve problems and the like. And then 国は connects to と言っています. So と kind of quotes something before it. So this is what the 国 is 言っています, which is saying, our verb. You to say something in the ている form and the ます form to be polite, formal. So the country is saying that they want to use the money that they have collected, or that they will collect, I guess in this case, to solve problems and the like. I know this has kind of got messy, but when you're first breaking down these more complex Japanese sentences, this can kind of help. Like, okay, this goes here in the English mind until you get a little bit more used to it. But yeah. So right now it's not that big of a deal. I mean, 3000 yen is still 3000 yen, still 3,000 yen. But who knows, with a lot of other issues involving tourism and things like that and how they're trying to solve it, it may get even worse. Hopefully not. But that is the way it is going. So just keep that in mind when buying tickets to Japan. But thank you so much. That will be it for our article today. 本当にありがとうございました. If you have not liked or subscribed yet, please do. It really helps me and it gives me a lot more motivation to make more of these videos. And hopefully they're helpful for you. 本当にありがとうございました. またね.